I may have found the biggest issue with this Philadelphia Eagles offense. Let's talk about it here. Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. It is Kelly Green week. You saw that with the intro. It's Dallas week. The Birds rocking the Kelly Green unis on the road against the Cowboys. Going to be the first time that the Eagles wear the Kelly Green threads for an away game since they used to have them as their full-time uniforms. And so it is Dallas week, and I have had so many Cowboys fans hopping in my DMs on X, on Instagram, saying, Chase, you're not going to get 100 new subscribers on your next Philadelphia Eagles Now video, thanks to our Cowboys Report host, Tom Downey, making Cowboys fans do that. You know what I said to them? Bet. Go Birds. It's going to be a beatdown on Sunday at Jerry World. And we're going to pick up 100 new subscribers on this video. So if you want top-notch, elite Eagles coverage every single day year-round, lock us in, hit that sub button, and you know the motto, Go Birds, F Dallas. Speaking of that game, a little bit earlier today, I put out about a 30-minute preview of this Eagles-Cowboys matchup. And this matchup fascinates me for so many reasons. This Cowboys offense this year has been a high-octane, high-producing unit. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, an improved offensive line, a good running game. Brian Schottenheimer's done a really good job calling that Cowboys offense. Well, this Eagles defense might be the best unit in the NFL right now, if not number one, number two, behind the Denver Broncos, and their offense is struggling. But the Cowboys' defense also stinks. And so a really interesting matchup, and obviously there's a lot of weight to it in the NFC, in the NFC East. Check that preview out after this show. You won't regret it. And yesterday, this has to do with what we're getting into on today's show. I had talked about the Eagles' offensive struggles and how it's been so maddening watching this offense this year, given how much talent that they have, and how do these offensive struggles continue? And so yesterday we looked at some of these numbers that we're about to show you, but it goes a long way in serving as the foundation for today's topic as well, in finding out how this Eagles offense can get back on track and what one of the biggest issues is. And so you look at how this Eagles team stacks up. First on offense, they are 16th in points per game at 23.4. It's simply not good enough. They are 25th in yards per game at 300.1, 24th in yards per play at 5.1, 29th on third downs. They're moving the chains at less than a 34% clip, and they have the number one red zone offense in the NFL. That's good. Everything else is mediocre to bad, and it's a damn shame because if this offense can find a groove, find an identity, be more consistent, with this Eagles defense, the way that they're trending, the way that they're playing right now, the Eagles will be a hard team to beat. But you can't solely rely on just the defense carrying you. The offense has to step it up. You look furthermore at some of these offensive numbers. We'll dive into the analytics here. The Eagles' rushing attack, yards per rush, 3.9, that's number 25. Rushes per game, they're running it a lot, nearly 30 times per game, sixth most in the NFL on an attempts per game basis. Rushing yards per game, 115.2, number 17. Obviously, those are the true numbers. We have some analytical numbers coming up here just around the corner. The Eagles' passing attack, it's not pretty. Their pass play percentage, 31st in the NFL, 50.2%. I actually don't hate how they're a pretty even offense running it and throwing it. I always like a more balanced offense. The teams who go pass heavy in today's NFL usually leads to bad defensive play, and it's not a sustainable way to play football. The completion rate's solid, 66.9%. Yards per pass, pretty good. Top 10, 7.4. Passes per game. The Eagles throw it second least in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 184.9. That's number 28. Pretty close to where they were last year, and they've been erring on the side of being more conservative and cautious, which is probably why some players get frustrated, like A.J. Brown, with the offensive approach. As for those aforementioned analytics, the Eagles' EPA rankings, overall offensive EPA, 15th. Passing EPA, 12th. Rushing EPA, 20th. With this offensive line, with Saquon Barkley that shouldn't happen. The passing EPA, better than you would think. The offensive EPA, in totality, middle of the pack in the NFL. Again, it just simply has to get better. And obviously, Jalen Hurts is to blame for some of this. Kevin Patullo is to blame for some of this. Nick Sirianni deserves his fair share of blame too, because he's an offensive coach, and the players deserve blame. With Jalen Hurts, his lack of continuity at offensive coordinator has to lead to some of his struggles, because year over year, he always has a different play caller in his ear. It's not that he's always learning a new offense, but oftentimes he is. It's the terminology. It's the play call sequencing, the play call rhythm, some of the play designs and the play calls in certain moments. So you look back at all of his different play callers since 2016, it's been a different play caller every single season for nearly a decade straight. Yet, this year, Hurts solely isn't to blame for the Eagles' offense struggling. He's actually statistically having a pretty good season. Yards per attempt, he's 11th. Air yards per attempt, he's 6th. True passer rating, he's 5th. QBR, he's 8th. True completion rate, he's 10th. Deep ball completion rate, 5th. Pressure completion percentage, number 1. Completion percentage versus man, number 4. Completion rate versus zone, he's gotten better. It's number 12. Passer rating versus man, number 3. Passer rating versus zone, number 12. And so, yes, Hurts, for instance, against the Detroit Lions, against the Green Bay Packers, didn't play well. He was a little bit hesitant at times. Sometimes he doesn't give his receivers a shot. Against the Lions especially, he was missing some throws. Yes, weather may have played a role. Kevin Patullo and the scheme is also letting him down. Is it possible that Hurts's receivers are letting him down? Jalen Hurts's receiver separation this year, 1.91 yards. It's 25th in the NFL. That is a personnel issue. It's also a scheme and play calling and play design issue. Jalen Hurts' yak per reception, 4.5. It's 35th in the NFL. The inability to run the ball has also been problematic. And it's because the offensive line is getting pushed back and beat. I don't think it's because Saquon Barkley got washed overnight. He has still looked fast, elusive, and explosive this season. But what do you expect him to do when he gets the rock, he takes the handoff, and there's nowhere for him to go? That's been a problem all year, as evidenced and backed up by Saquon's yards before contact. Year over year, last year, 2.61. This year, 1.54. It's gone down more than a yard, more than a 40% decrease. So that is a lack of blocking and hole creation. So I actually think that Saquon looks pretty good, but this offensive line has been an issue. One of the problems is that going into the Lions game, every member of the starting offensive line had only played in every snap for just one game this year. They finally started another game together, and what happened against Detroit? Cam Jurgens hurt again, Lane Johnson out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Saquon year over year through the first 10 games, his carries this year have gone down by 22, 197 to 175. The yards, ladies and gentlemen, have nearly been cut in half. His touchdowns have been cut in half. His yards per carry down 2 yards from 2024 to 2025. And now we start to heat things up a little bit for the topic of today's show, because I think I just gave you some great analysis, trends, data, analytics, stats for what we're about to discuss in finding the reason why this offense is struggling. But here's a guide to get this offense on track, in rhythm, and improving. Kevin Patullo, be better, be creative, be less predictable. Jalen Hurts has to be on. He's been too hot and cold this season. Offensive line has to play better. Wide receivers and one-on-ones get open. And the third down offense must improve. But I have also made a new discovery as far as why this Eagles offense continues to be lackluster. That's coming up next on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now. But I do want to get to our sponsor, our friends at Brunt, making today's Philadelphia Eagles Now possible. Holidays are coming up. If you want to get something for yourself or somebody else, get them Brunt work boots. I love mine. You will love yours. And here is why. We also have a great deal that we're about to tell you about here. Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt thought that was BS. They built tough work boots that feel great from day one. No break-in, no sore feet, because people out there doing the real work should not have to choose between comfort and durability. I want both. That's what these work boots give me. These in particular are the Marin work boots, and I love them. Comfortable right out of the box. Most other boots require a significant break or a period of time until they really become comfortable. But Brunt also, not just about work boots, they offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. So with temperatures dropping, the holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get them or yourself something built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order when you use the code CHAT at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com/chat. Use the code CHAT. Order today. Let them know you heard it right here on this show. All right. So you think about this Eagles wide receiving tandem. Since DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown teamed up, they've arguably been the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. You think back to that Minnesota game. They were incredible. Both players going over 100 yards, and they were great. They are very special players. Sometimes special players just need to win and get open in some of these one-on-ones, but coaching and scheme matter as well. What do elite play callers and elite play designers do? Like Sean McVay, like Kyle Shanahan and others, they scheme players open. And this year, Kevin Patullo is not scheming players open. For instance, you look at A.J. Brown's route chart against the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. This is gross. What you notice, there isn't a lot of variety. There's not a lot of creativity. Now, the Eagles targeted A.J. 11 times. He caught 7 passes for 49 yards. Not a lot of yak there. Sometimes that can be play design or play call. But what do you notice here on top of not a lot of variety, not a lot of creativity? They're not running A.J. Brown to the middle of the field. You're not going to line up A.J. Brown in the slot to try to get a good matchup for him. This needs to be better. This is a problem. Because what you're also doing here, you're making your offense easier to defend, and you're taking away a third of the field at least by at least not even running routes in between the numbers and in between the hashes. And you think back to what AJ did against the Los Angeles Rams. That was a game where he had 6 catches for 109 yards. Here, when he had his best game of the season outside of the Minnesota game, what do you notice? He at least ran one crosser. There's at least a little bit more variety. Jalen Hurts to start that third quarter, hit that deep ball to A.J. Brown. That helped to get this offense going. But even here, I think that you can get a little bit more creative with drawing plays to get A.J. Brown open. And so I went back and I looked at some of A.J.'s route charts from last year. This is against the Rams in Week 12 on Sunday Night Football, when Kellen Moore was calling the offense and designing the offense. Look at how much more route variety there is last year compared to a game like the Detroit Lions. Obviously, the coverage can dictate what you call and the routes that you run. But this is taking advantage of A.J. Brown's skill set, which also caters to what makes him special. Being able to pick up yards after the catch, because he's such a strong runner with the football and very difficult to bring down. You think back to Week 1 against the Green Bay Packers when AJ had 5 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. You're running a variety of routes from outside, inside. You're running toward the sideline, in breakers, across the middle. And then obviously the long ball when he was able to cook Jair Alexander. Great throw from Jalen Hurts in which AJ caught it, and then he used that speed to break away from Alexander. This is more vast than what we've seen this year. You think back to the Cleveland game when AJ had 6 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. The routes on the right side, there's a lot of different route combinations here. And you can just look at it visually. And then on the other side, what were the Eagles doing? Taking advantage of some one-on-ones, and they threw a lot of go routes. But AJ was also running these go routes from the slot and on the outside. This year, primarily, he's only lining up on the outside for the most part. And this really brings me back to 2023 when this Eagles offense sputtered at the end of the year and the Eagles lost 6 of 7. They did not target the middle area of the field. And some of the route concepts didn't make sense. This year, that's a problem too, where guys are running into one another or their alignment is close to one another. And so that makes them easy to defend because there's not enough spacing. This is a joke. This is criminal right here. This makes you easy to defend. Now, this year too at times, sometimes the Eagles will only have A.J. Brown run go routes. Well, if A.J. Brown is hurting or he's lost a step, just running go balls makes no sense. You have to find ways to scheme him open. And if he has lost a little bit of his speed, you can find ways to get him open so that he can be a more dynamic player. Pre-snap motion, running some crossers, having a more diverse route tree. For DeVonta Smith, against Kansas City this year, this is pretty ugly. Now, DeVonta Smith caught that big pass downfield late in the game, which was huge. But DeVonta Smith is a slick route runner with great footwork. And he's able to win inside, outside, in a variety of ways. And this is his route chart. It's just simply not creative enough. You think about what he did against the Denver Broncos. This is what I'm talking about, where he is lining up on the right side, left side, inside, outside, and he's running all types of routes. Earlier this year, against Green Bay, a couple of weeks ago, coming out of the bye, right? Is that this one? Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota. When DeVonta Smith had that huge game against Minnesota, alongside A.J. Brown, 9 catches for $183. And probably his best game of the season, right? Him and A.J. just cooked. Look at this combination of routes that Smitty was running here. He's running crossers. He's running go balls. He's running into the flat. He's running out routes. He's running posts. He's running deep crossers. Kevin Patullo, we need to see more of this. And again, in turn, it makes you a more difficult offense to defend. And then this one is against the Packers coming out of the bye week. I knew I had that one in the chamber. Thank you, Chip. Now, this isn't great, but you still see ways to get DeVonta Smith open, and then the long ball where he's able to catch that deep shot from Jalen Hurts. So, play sequencing, play calling rhythm, play design, finding ways to scheme guys open. It needs to get better. And can we just start maybe by targeting the middle area of the field a little bit more? That's what I discovered today that can help out this Eagles offense. Don't forget to give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Appreciate all of the love here and over there.